Let's go ahead and pray in.
All right, y'all. Turn that down. All the way down. All the way down.
No sound.
Right here. Okay.
Right. You already know. Devarim, or Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 4. Hear, O Israel, Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah is one. Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael.
Yahuwah Eloheinu.
Yahuwah Eloheinu.
Yahuwah Akkad.
Yahuwah Akkad.
Shemot, or Exodus chapter 20 at verse 3. We will have no other mighty ones.
We will have no other mighty ones.
Against the Most High.
Against the Most High.
We will not make any carved image.
We will not make any carved image.
Or any likeness.
Or any likeness.
Of that which is in Shamayim above.
Of that which is in Shamayim above.
Or which is in the earth beneath.
Or which is in the earth beneath.
Or which is in the waters under the earth.
Or which is in the waters under the earth.
We will not bow down to them.
We will not bow down to them.
Nor serve them.
Nor serve them.
For Yahuwah our El
For Yahuwah our El
is a jealous El.
is a jealous El.
Visiting the wickedness
Visiting the wicked.
of the fathers on the children.
Of the fathers on the children.
To the third and fourth generation.
To the third and fourth generation.
Of those who hate him.
Of those who hate
But showing kindness.
Showing kindness.
To thousands of those.
Thousands of those
Who love him.
who love him.
And keep his commandments.
And keep his commandments.
Who will not bring the name
Who will not bring the name
of Yahuwah our El
Yahuwah our El
to nothing.
to nothing.
For Yahuwah
Yahuwah
will not leave us unpunished.
will not leave us unpunished.
Who brings his name to nothing.
Who brings his name to nothing.
We will remember the Shabbat day.
Who will remember the Sabbath day.
Keep it Kodesh.
Keep it Kodesh.
6 days we will labor
6 days we will
and
labor.
do all our work.
Do all our work.
But the seventh day
But the seventh day
is the Shabbat
is the Sabbath
of Yahuwah our El.
Yahuwah our El.
For in 6 days
For 6 days
Yahuwah made Shamayim
Yahuwah made Shamayim
and the earth
and the earth
and the sea
and the sea
and all that is in them,
and all that is in them.
and rested the seventh day.
And the rest is the seventh day.
Therefore Yahuwah barak the Shabbat day.
Therefore we will rock the Sabbath day.
We will respect our fathers
We will respect our fathers
and our mothers,
and our mothers.
so that our days may be long
So our days may be long
upon the earth.
on the earth.
We will not murder.
We will not murder.
We will not commit adultery.
We will not commit adultery.
We will not steal.
We will not
We
steal.
will not bear false witness
We will not bear false witness
against our neighbor.
against our
We
neighbor.
will not covet
We will not covet
anything
anything
that is our neighbor.
that is our neighbor.
Father, Yah, we give thanks for this day. We give thanks for this set apart day, Father, to give your name the esteem, Father, the honor, Father, the reverence, Father. We pray and ask, Father, that you would be with us in the midst right now, Father, even as we are gathered together for your name's sake, that you would walk with us, Father, that you would allow your Ruach, Father, to govern this assembly, Father, to give utterance unto the speaker and understanding unto the hearer, that we all may be doers of your word. We pray for anyone who is in transit, Father, or anyone who is ill on this day, that you would allow them the strength, Father, to be the renewed strength according to your will and your mercy, Father, that you would allow anyone who is in transit to make it here safely, Father. We pray for all the souls that are gathered here today, Father, that you would give understanding and open up the ears and allow your word to fall in the good hearts of these people, Father, so that they can grow into something mighty and be used for the upbuilding and the uplifting of your kingdom. All these things, Father, we pray and give thanks. But so be it.
So be it.
All right, shalom, everybody. How's everybody? All right. We're going into this lesson as anyone in here desired to be on TV, to be a movie star, singer, actor, anything? Anybody ever desired to be any of these? It's not a trick question, it's a real question.
Yeah. Everybody.
Most people, right? So there's a disease that most of the world has been infected with, right? It's a disease that most of the world has been infected with. But this disease, most people want it. So Yah can actually give it to you. But if he give it to you, it's not necessarily a disease, but it can quickly turn into it. It's the reason that people will record themselves doing unlawful things. It's the reason that guys will rob somebody or whatever it may be, and they'll record themselves doing it. This disease causes frictions. So say, for instance, you got a group and they all make the same amount of money, but one person has the disease more than the other people. It will cause them to divide and split, right? It's the reason that girls walk up and down the street half naked. The disease seeks to be seen. It has to be out in the open. It's loud, right? You ever ask yourself, why would you do something wrong and record it? Why would a woman record herself with an animal? What would she get out of that? You already talked to me, so don't answer. So, what is this thing that the whole world is infected with? They all seek it. You gotta have it that you would beg for it, clamor for it, seek it, has to get attention, has to be seen. It's the reason that people get on Facebook Live all day long and talk about nothing. Two women will just have a conversation that they could be having on the phone, but they'll do it on Facebook Live. It's the reason you take 1,000 selfies all day long. Can anybody think of what this disease is? Nobody that I talk to. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. So, can anybody tell me what you think this disease is? That's a part of it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Seeking attention. There's something else I'm looking for. Yeah, that's a part of it too. That's a part of it too. It seeks attention, needs to be seen. It's about a name. It's about having a name and to be known and to be admired and to be pursued and like It's a 4-letter word.
Four-letter word?
So it ain't money. Who said that? Bang.
I was just trying to trick you.
Keep telling y'all over 1,000 times. I don't trick with my questions.
I thought it was funny. I just didn't put a nigga.
I just asked him, what's the name of the lesson?
Right. So some people have this thing naturally. Other people don't. But the people that don't have it, they seek to get it. And they gotta have it. Somebody look up the definition of fame. No, not me. Not Leroy.
Fame. Widespread reputation.
Widespread what?
Reputation.
Reputation. So widespread reputation. So some people is trying to establish and get them a reputation by doing some of the most wickedest things. Some more of that?
Especially of a favorable character. Renown.
What is it?
Renown.
Renown. I want y'all to keep that word in your mind. Renown. Read.
Public eminence. To seek fame.
To seek what?
To seek fame.
Go ahead.
As an opera singer.
So, again, if you wanted to be a rap star, singer, actor, movie star, whatever, then you was infected with this disease. It ain't nothing wrong with having some fame. Fame itself ain't actually bad, but it's what you do to get it, how you obtain it, and what you do if you got it. What makes it the disease. All right? So again, if a group has 5 members and all of the group they sign the same contract, right? All of them make $1,000 per show. But if one guy, they scream for him more than the rest of them, what normally happens with this?
And one guy breaks off a lot of times.
But it make the other ones feel some type of way, right?
Jealousy.
So we can see this disease leads to all types of things. It leads to covetousness, jealousy. It leads to all these things that'll come into play. We're going to see this in the scripts. So anybody can catch it at any moment, right? So take somebody, there's nothing wrong with getting a compliment or something, right? But it can turn just that quick. So somebody say, "Oh, sister, you look nice today. I like that outfit. I like the head wrap you got on. I like that." Then somebody else tell him. He start to feel like, oh, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get me some more outfits like this. So now the feeling becomes addictive. I'm gonna need to get it all the time. Unexpected. Right. I'm gonna need it. So now if she goes somewhere and they don't tell her, she feel like something wrong. Oh my goodness. Nobody can say, "Sisters, I like this skirt today." Nobody can say, "Oh, that's a nice," whatever it is. So the next time, she feel like I gotta go above and beyond because I just got addicted to the feeling. All right. So as simple as this stuff seems, it can lead somewhere really, really bad. All right. So let's see how this thing pertains to script. So it's about having a name and a reputation and to be known. Right? Name, reputation, and to be known. So if you wanted to be a rapper or something, you always dreamed about standing in front of a crowd and thousands of people screaming your name, right? What could be better, right? They eating out of my hand, they calling my name, they chanting my name, right? All of this is addictive. And once you get a piece of it, it's gonna be hard to let it go. One more thing before we get into the scripture. Y'all remember Dennis Rodman? All right, Dennis Rodman was a really good basketball player. Right? Really, really good. Great basketball player, actually. But on his team, he wasn't the star. Isaiah Thomas was the star for the Pistons. Later on in his career, he started getting stuff in the back of his head, writings and stuff in the back of his head. So the first one he got was from one of them commercials. He had cha-ching in the back of his head. So all of a sudden, Rodman started getting recognition and started being known outside of the basketball circle. Then I think he got traded to San Antonio, to the Spurs. The movie called Demolition Man was out. So he blonded his hair like Demolition Man. All of a sudden, it started bringing more and more people to the games just to look at Rodman's head, right? So Rodman go from a great basketball player to now he getting a household name, right? But he can't go back to being normal because this is what's bringing him all of this fame. So now when he gets this attention, he goes to the Bulls. Now he on a super team with Jordan and them, right? But Jordan is star over here, then Pippen. But Rodman niched out a way to get just as much attention as them, even if it's bad attention. Well, now he blinding it and putting blue spots and stuff in it, right? That ain't even far enough. Now he go to the extreme to show up in a wedding dress somewhere, right? All of this is bringing him more and more attention, fame, famous for all of this stuff. But now, can Rodman go back to just having a regular haircut and all of this? Because his fame gonna go away, so he get addicted to it, and he gotta go further, further, further with it. So let's get to these scriptures. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 19.
Book of Zephaniah, chapter 3 and verse 19. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict you.
He said, I'm going to undo all that's been afflicted to you. Right? Go ahead.
And I will save her that halts, and gather her that was driven out. And I will get them praise.
He will do what?
I will get them praise.
I will get them praise. Go ahead.
And fame.
And what?
And fame.
So y'all can give you fame. Now this word fame right here comes out to name. Shem or Sham. So he said, I can get you a name. Right? So he's letting you know that this is about name, reputation, and to be known. But Yah himself telling you that I'm going to get you fame. But most people don't want it from Yah. So if you get it from Yah, ridicule don't come with it. Envy don't come with it. Read that from the top again.
Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict you, and I will save her that halts, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame.
So he says, I'm going to get you fame or a name in every land that you have been put to shame. So if Yah, we was in Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 19. Oh, okay. She said, give her time to get the scripture.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
So since you just got it, read it one more time.
Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 19. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict you, and I will save her that halts, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame.
So Yah says He's going to get you fame. That word fame is H8034. Comes out to Shem, to name.
I was going to ask the question, who was her?
He's talking about Israel. He's referring to it as like a wife. So keep in mind that this word fame comes out to name. It's to being known, your character being out there, somebody knowing who you are. Right? So Yah can give it to you. And if He give it to you, it's like this. Matthew chapter 5, verse 14.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 14.
So if Yah give it to you, this will be you.
You are the light. You are the light of the world.
You're the light of what?
Of the world.
Go ahead.
A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
Can't be hid. So He say, you the light of the world. You the light sitting on top of the hill. You don't have to try to be seen. You're going to be seen regardless. So you don't have to go out your way, do evil, record yourself doing the most stupidest things to get fame or get light. It's going to be natural. Read.
Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it gives light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works.
That they may see what?
That they may see your good works.
May see your good works. Not let your light shine so people can know you because you robbed the bank and you got your name known. Or you made a sex tape and you got your name known. Let your good works shine. Read.
And esteem your Father which is in Shamayim.
So right here he says, and esteem your Father which is in Shamayim. So let your light shine. He's going to make you shine. Again, you won't have to do illegal things in order. Joking. Trying to eat too much. You won't have to go above and beyond outside of yourself so you can get a name for yourself to be known. First Chronicles 14. Verse 14. Yep. First Chronicles 14, verse 14.
The book of First Chronicles, chapter 14 and verse 14. Therefore, David inquired again of Elohim.
We did that?
Acquired of Elohim.
So David follows Yah. We know that the book says that David is a man after his own heart. So David wasn't seeking to get his own life. Follow Yah. Read.
And Elohim said unto him, go not up after them, turn away from them, and come upon them over against the mulberry trees. And it shall be, when you shall hear a sound of going in the tops of the mulberry trees, that then you shall go out to battle. For Elohim is going forth before you to smite the host of the Philistines. Dawid therefore did as Elohim commanded him, and they smote the host of the Philistines from Gibeon even to Gazer. And the fame of Dawid went out into all lands.
What went out?
The fame of Dawid went out into all lands.
So David's name is ringing now. But it's because of who? Because of Yah that's doing this, because this fame comes out to name. So his name went abroad right here. But all of this is coming from Yah himself and not from David. But if you want to get some fame, if Yah can give you fame, surely the other guy can give it to you. Matthew chapter 4.
Book of Matthew chapter 4.
Pick it up at verse 8.
In verse 8. Again, the devil takes him up into an exceeding high mountain and shows him all the kingdoms of the world.
So in what?
All the kingdoms of the world.
All the kingdoms of the world. Read.
And the esteem of them. And said unto him, all these things will I give you if you will fall down and worship me.
If you do what?
If you will fall down and worship me.
You will fall down and worship me. So he didn't promise them money, but he promised them the kingdom. You're a king, you get what? You get fame, honor, and everything that go along with it. But we know Mashiach rejected it. Read.
And says unto him, all these things will I give you if you will fall down and worship me. Then says Yeshua unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, you shall worship Yahuwah your Elohim, and him only shall you serve, and him only shall you serve.
And him only shall you serve. So just like Yah can give you this, the other guy can give it to you as well. Joshua chapter 6, verse 27. So with this understanding, we're going to find out people's character and find out some stuff that went on between Ham and Noah. Verse 27.
Book of Joshua, chapter 6, at verse 27. So Yahuwah was with Joshua, and his fame was noised.
His what?
His fame was noised.
So Yahuwah was with Joshua, and his fame was noised. This means that everybody heard about it. Joshua's name is also now ringing, popping. People know who Joshua is, but they know him because of Yah, not because of what Joshua is doing. Read that from the top again.
So Yahuwah was with Joshua, and his fame was noised throughout all the country.
Throughout all the country. So now Joshua gets fame, but this fame right here is a different one. It's 8089. It says report, rumor, news, fame, but it's still meaning people know you, and know who you are, know what you are about, your reputation. So to keep that in mind, all it is trying to have people know who you are, to be known, to know your name. All right, let's get 1 Kings chapter 10. First Kings chapter 10 and verse 1.
Book of 1 Kings chapter 10 and verse 1. And when the queen of Sheba heard the fame of Solomon.
Heard the what?
The fame of Solomon.
She heard the fame of Solomon. So she heard something, just like it's a rumor, a report, something that you hear. So now Queen of Sheba got to hear about the fame of Solomon. Go ahead.
And when the queen of Sheba heard the fame of Solomon concerning the name of Yahuwah, she came to prove him with hard questions.
So now it then got all the way to where the queen of Sheba is from about Solomon. His name is spreading throughout the place. It's a guy in Israel. Man, this guy is bright. He's super wise. Super. So his name is spreading out throughout the land, or his fame is spreading throughout the land. So everybody is knowing about Solomon. Now, who's the most famous person in the book? Shia, the most famous. Let's get Matthew chapter 9, verse 27. So fame in itself is not bad, but it's the person who gets it and how he attains it and how he tries to keep it that will make it evil. Matthew chapter 9. Did I say 27? All right.
The book of Matthew, chapter 9, and verse 27. And when Yeshua departed thence, 2 blind men followed him, crying and saying, Thou son of David, have mercy on us. And when he was come into the house, the blind men came to him, and Yeshua said unto them, Believe you that I am able to do this? They said unto him, Yea, master. Then touched he their eyes, saying, According to your faith, be it unto you. And their eyes were opened, and Yeshua straightly charged them, saying, See that no man know it.
He said what?
See that no man know it.
He didn't film it and put it on Facebook and say, Look at me.
Watch this.
He didn't film it and put it on nothing and say, Everybody watch me do this. What did he tell him?
See that no man know it.
He says, See that no man know it. Don't go and tell nobody that I just did this. He didn't come to the Greater Mount Baptist Church, ME, and bring the cameras. And that young man came. There's somebody in here now. He got on a gray shirt. And somebody say he's suffering from rheumatoid arthritis. Oh, they forgot that they told him that you suffered from that when you came in. So come on up here so I can hear. No, that's fake. You're doing that for a reason because you're seeking for something. But right here, he told him, don't tell nobody what I just did. Right? Read.
But they, when they were departed, spread abroad his fame.
Did what?
Spread abroad his fame.
Spread abroad his fame. Go ahead.
In all that country.
But he just told them don't do that. They spread it abroad. They couldn't help it. It's like you just did something. You told us a secret and I got to tell it. You just told them don't say it. Go ahead.
As they went out, behold, they brought to him a dumb man possessed with a devil. And when the devil was cast out, the dumb spake, and the multitudes marveled, saying, It was never so seen in Israel.
It was what?
Never so seen in Israel.
Go ahead.
But the Pharisees said, He chased out devils through the prince of the devils.
So now his fame spreads out, even though he wasn't looking for it. It brought jealousy to somebody. Oh, nigga doing that through the devils. He casting the devils out using the devil. Jealousy, right? Covetousness. They don't like this. That he got this, that he doing this, even though he was doing it on the low. He didn't want it to be out there to be seen. But they say he cast out devils through the prince of the devils. Not just the regular one, but the prince. So they done got jealous because he taking they shine, they light from them, so to speak. See it in the old. Matter of fact, get me Matthew 19. Because all of the people that go live, take 1,000 selfies and all of these things on Facebook and Snapchat and Twitter, they're trying to get somebody to do something for them, right? What is it called? To follow me. To follow me, right? Go ahead. Matthew 19, verse 1.
Matthew chapter 19 and verse 1. And it came to pass that when Yeshua had finished these sayings, he departed from Galilee and came into the coast of Judea beyond Jordan. And great multitudes of followers, and great multitudes followed him, and he healed them there.
So now that his fame then started to grow, multitudes is following him everywhere he goes. Remember, the people is always trying to get followers and trying to bring in more people to follow. This is what fame does. Exodus chapter 20. Well, we see that it made them Pharisees jealous, right? Exodus, it made them envy him, rather. Exodus 20 and 17.
The book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 17. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is your neighbor's.
Anything that is your neighbor's, don't covet it. So we see that they actually coveted his fame or his name. His name is ringing more than theirs. They don't like it. Moses had the same problem. Let's get on. Turn family, friends, whoever. The disease will infect you and turn them against you. Let's get Numbers chapter 12, verse 1 and 2.
The book of Numbers chapter 12 and verse 1. And Miriam and Aharon spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, have Yahuwah indeed spoken only by Moses? Have he not spoken also by us? And Yahuwah heard it.
So what's the feeling that Miriam and Aaron are having right now? Jealousy. Because Moses is the guy. Moses got the light. Moses is the person that everybody knows. He's the one that brought him through. So his own brother and his sister is envying him right now. Anybody know the difference between jealousy and envy? Jealousy and envy?
What envy you want what someone have, jealousy.
You're envious of what somebody else have, but jealousy over it is yours. So for instance, a guy would be, if you looked at another man's wife and say, man, he got it good. Oh my goodness. That would mean you were envying the situation. But if my wife was with somebody else and I saw it and I looked at it, that would make me jealous. That's the difference. So right here, Moses and Aaron and Miriam is envying Moses because of his position. This position brings great honor and fame. At the same time, it brings great hate. Right? Numbers chapter 16 and verse 1.
Numbers 16 and 1. Now Korah, the son of Itzar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan, and Abiram, the son of Eliab, and On, the son of Pelet, sons of Reuben, took men, and they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, Famous.
They was what?
Famous.
They are famous. So it said that these guys are all famous. Go ahead.
Famous in the congregation. Men of renown.
Men of what?
Men of renown.
I told y'all to remember that word, right? From the definition that we read. It says these are men of renown. This renown comes out to 8034. It comes out to name. Again, it's the same word. So these men had a name for themselves. But Moses' name is outshining them. Even though they got fame, Moses' name is better than theirs, right? So you can take it as sports. One guy is on the top and another guy's name start ringing. I gotta keep them. I gotta do something to stop this from happening, right? Read on.
Verse 3. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aharon, and said unto them, you take too much upon you, seeing all this congregation are set apart, every one of them, and let Yahuwah, and Yahuwah is among them.
Is among them. Now they know that the Most High chose Moses. They know it. So this disease will make you go against what you know is right. Just like Miriam and Aaron knew it, and they still went against them. They knew what they was doing. They still went against them. Read on.
Wherefore then, lift you up yourselves above the congregation of Yahuwah. And when Moshe heard, he fell upon his face, and he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, even tomorrow Yahuwah will show who are his and who is set apart, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him who he hath chosen will he cause to come near unto him. This do, take your censers, Korah and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before Yahuwah tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom Yahuwah does choose, he shall be set apart. You take too much upon you, you sons of Levi.
You what?
You sons of Levi.
Go ahead.
And Moses said unto Korah, hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi. Seems it but a small thing unto you.
So this thing will make you seek to take somebody else's position. Because this position holds great honor and fame. Read.
Seems it but a small thing unto you, that the Elohim of Israel have separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of Yahuwah, and to stand before the congregation to minister to them. And he hath brought you near to him, and all your brethren, the sons of Levi, with you, and seek you the priesthood also.
So he said, so they basically are trying to take over the priesthood. Because the priesthood, you get to wear the best garments with all of the fine needlework and all of this stuff. You remember how elaborate them garments are, right? Great work. It go into detail of how much thread's supposed to be on it, and it's got to be this way, and it's got to be this way. So if you had on that garment, it was automatic respect for you when you was walking through. They was seeking to get it. Just like them Pharisees was mad when Mashiach, when his fame spread abroad. And they said, he cast out devils through the prince of the devils. It's the same thing, because it make you envy and make you covet something that don't belong to you. Because you're trying to take a spot. All right? So when you get this fame, you start to feel entitled. Let's get Esther chapter 3. Esther chapter 3. Pick it up at verse 1.
Right after
book-
Nehemiah.
The book of Esther.
They don't got it yet.
Right after Nehemiah. Yep.
Esther chapter 3 and verse 1. So some people will say, well, this is just more about getting power. No, I don't think this is fame. I think it's more power, but we'll see. I think it's money.
Yeah.
I think it's money that the reason that everybody is trying to get. So while you're trying to get this, why would a group that has sold millions of records keep making records and be broke? What is it that they still have? They still got fame because the people on the streets who not in the industry don't know how it works. So take TLC, they done made numerous albums and went double and triple platinum. Everywhere they go, the people screaming their name, but they broke. It's not money.
It's the contract.
Exactly. But they still famous. Ask yourself, why does the CEO of the company now don't stay in the background? Why he come out now? Why the man for Wendy's start coming out? He already was filthy rich. Why Mark Cuban don't stay in the office? Go back there. He got to come out. Hey, I own the team. Because it's more than money. Esther chapter 3 verse 1.
Esther chapter 3 and verse 1. After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman.
They promoted Haman. That's why I like this stuff. Haman. What does Haman's name mean? Haman's name means magnificent. Wouldn't you like to be called by your name? Magnificent, ain't that? His name means magnificent. While we reading this, somebody look up that word magnificent for me. Go ahead.
After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedat, and the Agagite, and advance him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him.
Oh, so his seat has been set up higher than everybody else's. So his name means what? Magnificent. Oh, great. Put me up above everyone else. Right? Go ahead.
And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence.
Oh, so out of all the people, one of them didn't bow. Let's see what Mordecai name means. His name's little man, or worshiper of Mars. So little man is it. So he's a peon. I'm Haman the Magnificent. Little man, bow to me. Little man, you bow to me, right? This ain't no coincidence. This guy's name means magnificent. I'm the guy, and you don't bow down to me like everybody else did. So this fame make him feel entitled. I feel that you supposed to do this for me. My name is magnificent. Go ahead, read.
Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgress you the king's commandment? Now it came to pass, when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then Haman was full of wrath.
He was full of what?
He was full of wrath.
He was full of wrath. He's so full of himself. I got to get you. Now people will think that this is just power. We gonna see. Read that next verse. Verse 6.
Verse 6. And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had shown him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Yahudim that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai.
Even the people of Mordecai. So let's see if this just about some power. So when the team win the championship, what do they get to do in their city? They get a what? Celebrate. They get to ride down the street, right? And all the adoring fans on the side look at them and they stand up there with the trophy. Thanks for showing up to the games. Right? They get this honor. The more you win, the more the fame increases, right? So let's see what Haman, let's see his character. Let's go to Esther chapter 6. Pick it up at verse 1.
Book of Esther, chapter 6 and verse 1. On that night could not the king sleep, and he commanded to bring the book of records of the chronicles and they were read before the king. And it was found written that Mordecai had told of Bigthana and Teresh, two of the king's chamberlains, the keepers of the door, who sought to lay hand on the king Ahasuerus. And the king said, what honor and dignity have been done to Mordecai for this? Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, there is nothing done for him.
Nothing is done for Mordecai, the small man, the little man. Go ahead.
And the king said, who is in the court? Now Haman was come into the outward court of the king's house.
So now here comes Mr. Magnificent. He comes into the court. Go ahead.
To speak unto the king, to hang Mordecai on the gallows, that he be prepared for him, that he had prepared for him. And the king's servant said unto him, behold, Haman stands in the court. And the king said, let him come in. So Haman came in, and the king said unto him, what shall be done unto the man whom the king delights to honor? And Haman thought in his heart, to whom would the king delight to honor more than to myself?
So right here, Mr. Magnificent say, oh, he got to be talking about me. He going to honor me, because who else could it be? Certainly it couldn't be the little man, the nobody, the nothing. Go ahead.
And Haman answered the king, for the man whom the king delights to honor, let the royal apparel be brought, which the king uses to wear, and the horse that the king rides on, and the crown royal, which is set upon his head.
So he says, go get the king's apparel, the best. I can imagine how it looked, velvet, with the gold trims and the whole, killing them. Let the royal apparel be brought, which the king uses to wear, and the horse that the king rideth upon, and the crown royal which is set upon his head. So Haman think that this is about to happen for him. Side note, what does this sound like right here? Somebody riding through the city on a horse or another animal that's similar to a horse, like a donkey. Absolutely. When he riding through, everybody screaming, Hosanna, Hosanna, right? Go ahead, baby. Verse 9.
Verse 9. And let this apparel and horse be delivered to the hand of one of the king's most noble princes, that they may array the man with all whom the king delights to honor, and bring him on horseback through the streets of the city.
Through what?
Through the streets of the city.
Sound like the parade, right? This is what he after. This ain't power right here. This is fame. He want to ride through the city and wave at the people and act bigger than them. Because I'm Mr. Magnificent. You a little. Right? With all the king's apparel on, he after more than fame and money. I mean, after money and power, he want the fame. He want to ride down the street and have that parade. Like when you win the championship. Finish that out.
And proclaim before him, thus shall it will be done to the man whom the king delights to honor.
Surely he about to put the stuff on me. I'm about to ride down Woodward. It's the dream cruise. I'm about to ride down there. My Corvette is a 1935 special. It's gonna be killing everybody, right? Read.
Then the king said to Haman, make haste and take the apparel and the horse as you have said, and do even so to Mordecai.
Wait a minute, you flipped on him, he don't get nothing. The person that you want to hang on the gallows is getting the honor to ride down the street and get the wave at the people like you thought you was going to get the gift.
Told him to take it to him.
Exactly. Insult to injury. You go take it to him. Surely it's coming to me. I'm magnificent. No. So you can see this guy was puffed up with his fame. He wanted to kill this guy and his whole family because he wouldn't bow down to him. Let's keep it going. We love famous people, right? If famous people do something, it gotta be right. They can wear anything they want to wear. You won't make an excuse for it. What? Okay. But as you can see, people love, no matter what they do, they can't do no wrong. They can wear a dress. They on TV, it's a celebrity. I mean, you can give them a pass. No, you don't get a pass. That's wicked. I don't care what he's doing, it ain't right. So let's get 1 Samuel chapter 8. 1 Samuel chapter 8. Verse 4.
1 Samuel chapter 8 and verse 4. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah and said unto him, behold, you are old, and your sons walk not in your ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
So we don't like Yah's rulership. Still to this day, we don't like it. We want to follow after the other nations. Nothing new under the sun. Constantly everything repeats. The cycle continues. Go ahead.
But the thing displeased Samuel, and they said, give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto Yahuwah. And Yahuwah said unto Samuel, hearken unto the voice of the people in all that they say unto you. For they have not rejected you, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them.
So you can tell from this text that this bothers y'all. This bothers him. He said, they ain't rejected you, Samuel. They rejected me. Rejection ain't a good feeling. Right? Nobody don't like to be told no. But they rejected Yah. Read on.
According to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them up out of Egypt, even unto this day, wherewith they have forsaken me and served other gods, so do they also unto thee. Now therefore, hearken unto their voice, howbeit yet protest solemnly unto them, and show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them.
So listen to them, but let them know what you about to do. So it ain't gonna be no mistake. Protest to them solemnly and let them know, hey, you begging for a king, but I gotta let you know what's gonna happen if you choose this guy to be over you. Verse 10.
Verse 10. And Samuel told all the words of Yahuwah unto the people that asked of him a king.
So he let them know what the Most High said. Read.
And he said, this will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for himself, for his chariots, and to be his horsemen.
To be what?
His horsemen.
And what?
And some shall run before his chariots.
Some shall run before his chariots. Like when the president come to town and he in the limousine and he got the Secret Service people. You gonna be one of the dummies that'll get shot first. But you choosing to do this. You still, hey, I'm letting you know that this house, and they still did it. Because if you work for the Secret Service, this would be considered a great job, even though you in harm's way. They'll shoot you and kill you first. Oh, they got, no. No. You let them know because they wanted somebody that was famous. They wanted a famous king to be in the flesh. Y'all rules from another place. That's not good enough. We got to have somebody that we can physically see to be like the other nations. Read that verse 11 again.
Verse 11. And he said, this will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for himself, for his chariots, to be his horsemen, and some shall run before his chariots.
Go ahead.
And he will appoint him captains over thousands and captains over 50s, and will set them to ear his ground, and to reap his harvest, and to make his instruments of war and instruments of his chariots.
And guess what? Even after he let them know what type of king you gonna choose, they rejected it, right? No, they took them. We don't care. We want to be like the other nations. They still went with it. Now remember, this fame thing is about a name, a reputation, about being known. How does this take us back to the beginning? Them two. Let's see. Give me Genesis chapter 5. Genesis chapter 5. We're going to pick it up at verse 4.
Genesis of Bereshit chapter 5 at verse 4. In the days of Adam, after he had begotten Seth.
My bad. Genesis chapter 6, verse 4. Genesis chapter 6, verse 4.
Genesis of Bereshit chapter 6 at verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of Elohim came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare them children to them. The same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown.
Men of what?
Men of renown.
Men of renown. So these people was what? Famous. Was famous. But this one, the wickedness was at its peak. This is right before the flood. So it was a bunch of people that was famous. And other people were seeking it as well. So remember, fame is talking about reputation, being known, and your name. Right? Let's get Genesis chapter 11. Genesis chapter 11. Pick it up at verse 1.
Genesis of Bereshit, chapter 11, at verse 1. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto Shamayim, and let us make a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth.
They said, let us do what?
Make a name.
Let us make a name for ourselves. What's wrong with that? Gotta be something wrong with it because y'all stopped it. So let us make us a name. At least we be scattered abroad. And this name, the same word, 8:80:34, which is the same word from fame. So let us get our own fame. We don't want it from y'all. We're going to establish our own. So we can see it before the flood and after the flood. This was a part of it. All right? Remember, this thing makes you covet. Seek for something that's not yours. Let's get 2 Samuel chapter 14. 2 Samuel 14 and verse 23. Now remember, what did Haman's name mean? Magnificent, right? 2 Samuel 14, verse 23.
2 Samuel chapter 14 and verse 23. So Joab arose and went to Geshur and brought Absalom to Jerusalem. And the king said, Let him turn to his own house, and let him not see my face. So Absalom returned to his own house, and saw not the king's face. But in all Israel there was none to be so much praised as Absalom.
But what?
But in all Israel there was none to be so much praised as Absalom.
So it says, but in all of Israel there was none to be so much praised as Absalom. This praise comes out to Hallel, means to shine. Same word that's used in Isaiah 14 when the God says that I'm going to set my throne above the stars of Yah. So he said, nobody that shines more than Absalom. Go ahead.
But in all Israel, there was none to be so much praised as Absalom for his beauty. From the sole of his foot even to the crown of his head, there was no blemish in him.
So Absalom is what? He that do. He said the God. It says Absalom. Well, nobody else in Israel like Absalom. He was the dude, he had the glow. He had the glow. And he was the most handsome from the sole of the feet to the crown of the head. There was no blemish in him. Wouldn't that be enough for him? Wouldn't this make everybody in awe of him already? But it's not enough for him. You're going to find out. It ain't enough for him. Read the next verse.
And when he polled his head, for it was at every year's end.
Poll means to cut or shave. Go ahead.
For it was every year's end that he polled it.
So he didn't cut his hair, but once a year Go ahead.
because the hair was heavy on him. Therefore he pulled it. He weighed the hair of his head at 200 shekels after the king's weight.
So this guy had the hair as well. Right? He was that dude. Right? But it ruined him. Just like Haman was magnificent. He the same type of guy. It ruins you. I believe it's going to be a lot of beautiful people in the lake of fire. Because nobody wants to tell them the truth. But tell the person the truth. So when you get a sister on Facebook who don't look like what the most people would find attractive, and she says something, and it can be right, but only 2 or 3 people are comment. But the other one, Betty Big Boop, Israel, Betty Boop Israel can say it, right? And it's flooded. Even though it's wrong, but nobody won't tell her that it's wrong.
You got wisdom, sister.
Right. It's funny, but we know exactly it's the truth. So Absalom, most beautiful, got the glow, the whole 9, and he the son of the king. But we know David was rich. So if your father rich, you rich. So again, this ain't even about no money. It ain't gonna be about no money. Let's see. 2 Samuel chapter 15, verse 1.
2 Samuel 15:1. And it came to pass after this that Absalom prepared him chariots and horses and 50 men to run before him.
Wait a minute, did we read that somewhere? We read that in Kings, where it says that this the manner of king that you're going to set before you. He going to hire him horsemen and 50 men to run before him. Absalom want to be what? King, and he want to be famous. He already got the money and everything else. He want to be famous. Go ahead.
And Absalom rose up early and stood beside the way of the gate. And it was so that when any man that had a controversy came to the king for judgment, that Absalom called unto him and said, "Of what city are you?
So they was coming for David, but he'll stop them. Hey, where you from? Where you coming from, homie? You from Go ahead.
You from around here?" And he said, "Your servant is of one of the tribes of Israel." And Absalom said unto him, "See, your matters are good and right, but there is no man deputy of the king to hear you."
So ain't nobody here to hear you. Go ahead.
And Absalom said, "Moreover, oh, that I were made judge in the land."
Oh, if I was the judge, everything would be made right. You know, David too busy. My daddy too busy. Go ahead.
"That every man which have any suit or cause might come unto me, and I would do him justice."
See, he too busy, but if y'all came to me, you know, I'll look out for y'all. I'll get it straight. Go ahead.
And it was so that when any man came near to him to do him obeisance.
To do obeisance, what does that mean? To bow. So Absalom wants people to bow to him. Go ahead.
He put forth his hand and took him and kissed him. And on this manner did Absalom to all Israel that came to the king for judgment. So Absalom stole the hearts of the men of Israel.
So Absalom stole the hearts of the people. Now remember, he's the most handsome. He got the glow. Now we see he got the voice piece to go along with it. Right? But in order to be the king, he got to do something unthinkable. We see he want to be famous, right? You got to do something unthinkable to be the king. Now, first off, he should have not let them bow to him. Revelation 19:10.
Revelation chapter 19 and verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see, you do it not. I am your fellow servant and of your brethren that have the testimony of Yeshua. Worship Elohim.
So right here, the angel told John to get up from there. Don't do that. Don't bow to me. I'm your fellow brother. So when you look again on the net and you see these people with these white guys on the ground kissing their boots, bowing to them, you know it ain't right. You're not supposed to do that. And then they'll take Revelation chapter 2 and 9 and 3 and 9 and twist it to justify this. See, the book say they're supposed to bow down and kiss my feet. That's talking about the people of Philadelphia. You hateful. You can't be a part of Philadelphia. So we got that one. Don't supposed to let nobody bow down to you. Acts chapter 10 and 25.
Acts chapter 10, verse 25. And as Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and worshipped him.
He did what?
Fell down at his feet and worshipped him.
Go ahead.
But Peter took him up, saying, stand up. I myself also am a man. And as he talked with him, he went in.
So right here, Cornelius fell down at Peter's feet. He didn't say, stay down there, Gentile, and lick my shoes. Say, get up from there, man. I'm a man just like you. Don't do that. So again, when y'all see that, y'all know that this is wrong. When y'all look on the net and see somebody doing that, you know it ain't right. Not supposed to do that. But in order for Absalom to be the king, he's covered in something. He's got to do something to take the kingdom from David. Let's find out. Let's go back to 2 Samuel chapter 11. Pick it up at verse 1.
2 Samuel 11 and 1. And it came to pass, after the year was expired, at the time when the kings go forth to battle, that David sent Joab and his servants with him and all Israel. And they destroyed the children of Ammon and besieged Rabbah. But David tarried still at Jerusalem. And it came to pass in an evening tide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house.
He did what?
And walked upon the roof of the king's house.
So David is walking on his roof. We all know the story. David is walking on his roof, right? So it's a law that in Israel you wasn't supposed to have roofs like what we got, like this, right? So nobody could fall off of it and kill himself. So David is walking on the roof. That's a side note. Go ahead.
And from the roof, he saw a woman washing herself. And the woman was very beautiful to look upon. And David sent and inquired after the woman. And one said, is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, and the wife of Uriah the Hittite? And David sent messengers and took her. And she came in unto him, and he lay with her. For she was purified from her uncleanness. And he returned, and she returned unto her house. And the woman conceived and sent and told David and said, I am with child.
Child.
And David said,
Good.
let's do this.
You're going to leave this job. But, so remember, Absalom is seeking to take the kingdom from David, right? Keep this in mind. David was on the roof when he saw this woman. So now let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 12. Pick it up at verse 1.
2 Samuel 12 and 1. And Yahuwah sent Nathan unto David, and he came unto him and said unto him, there were two men in one city, the one rich and the other poor.
The one rich. So again, you know, Absalom had money. But this is talking about David. Go ahead.
And the rich man had exceeding many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing, save one little ewe lamb, which he had brought and nourished up, and it grew up together with him and with his children, and it did eat of his own meat, and drank of his own cup, and lay in his bosom, and was unto him as a daughter. And there came a traveler unto the rich man, and he spared to take his own flock and of his own herd to dress for the wayfaring man that was come unto him, but took the poor man's lamb and dressed it for him, and dressed it for the man that was come to him. And David's anger was greatly kindled against the man. And he said to Nathan, as Yahuwah lives, the man has done this thing, shall surely die.
But David don't know that this is about him. According to David should die. Go ahead.
And he shall restore the lamb fourfold, because he did this thing, and because he had no pity. And Nathan said to David, you are the man.
Oh, me? Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on a minute. Oh, that's me. Go ahead.
And Nathan said unto David, you are the man. Thus says Yahuwah Elohim of Israel, I anointed you king over Israel, and I delivered you out of the hand of Shaul, and I gave you your master's house and your master's wives.
And your what?
And your master's wives.
And your master's wives. So a part of taking the kingdom is taking what? The wives. Keep it in mind. A part of taking the kingdom from somebody is to take his wife or his wives. Go ahead.
And I gave you your master's house and your master's wives into your bosom, and gave you the house of Israel and of Judah. And if that had been too little, I would moreover have given unto you such and such things. Wherefore have you despised the commandment of Yahuwah to do evil in his sight? You have killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and have taken his wife to be your wife, and have slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. Now therefore the sword shall never depart from your house, because you have despised me, and have taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be your wife. Thus saith Yahuwah, behold, I will raise up evil against you out of your own house.
Out of where?
Out of your own house.
Out of your own house. Because you did this. Go ahead.
And I will take your wives before your eyes, and give them unto your neighbor, and he shall lie with your wives in the sight of the son, of this son.
In the sight of this son. So remember, he was on the roof. David did what he did. It was in secret, right? But he said, I'm going to take your wives and I'm going to give them to your neighbor, and he shall lie with them in the sight of the sun. Right? So remember, sleeping with or taking somebody's wife or wives is a part of taking the kingdom. If you're in the kingdom, you have a great position or fame so to speak. Right? So let's see. Let's get on 1 Kings chapter 2. Pick it up at verse 10. 1 Kings chapter 2 and verse 10. So remember, to take the kingdom, you must take their wives.
1 Kings chapter 2 and verse 10. So David slept with his fathers and was buried in the city of David. And the days of David and the days that David reigned over Israel were 40 years. 7 years reigned he in Hebron, and 33 years reigned he in Jerusalem. Then sat Solomon upon the throne of David his father, and his kingdom was established greatly.
So right here, David dies, Solomon takes over the kingdom. Go ahead.
And Adoniah, the son of Haggith, came to Bathsheba, the mother of Solomon, and she said, "Come you peaceably?" And he said, "Peaceably." You
coming in peace? Yeah, come in peace. Go ahead.
He said, "Moreover, I have somewhat to say unto you." And she said, "Say on." And he said, "You know that the kingdom was mine, and that all Israel set their faces on me, that I should reign. Howbeit the kingdom is turned about and is become my brother's, for it was his from Yahuwah."
So right here, this Solomon's older brother knows that the Most High has given the kingdom to Solomon. He know it, right? But he older, so in his mind, the kingdom's supposed to come to me. Read.
"And now I ask one petition of you, deny me not." And she said unto him, "Say on." And he said, "Speak, I pray you, unto Solomon the king, for he will not say you nay, that he give me Abishag, the Shunammite, to wife."
Oh, so right here, his older brother say, "I don't got the kingdom, but give me this Abishag, the Shunammite, to wife." Let's see Solomon's reaction. Go ahead.
And Bathsheba said, "Well, I will speak for you unto the king." Bathsheba therefore went unto King Solomon to speak unto him for Adoniah. And the king rose up to meet her and bowed himself unto her and sat down on his throne and caused a seat to be set for the king's mother. And she sat on his right hand. Then she said, "I desire one small petition of you. I pray you, say me not nay." And the king said unto her, "Ask on, my mother, for I will not say you nay."
So she already been set him up. Don't tell me no. Talking to his mama talking to him. Don't say nay. Oh, mama ain't gonna say no to you. Go ahead.
And she said, "Let Abishag, the Shunammite, be given unto Adoniah, your brother, to wife."
What did you say? This don't seem like too much. But watch Solomon's reaction, because he know what this really about. Go ahead.
And King Solomon answered and said unto his mother, And why do you ask Abishag the Shunammite for Adoniah? Ask for him the kingdom also, for he is my elder brother.
So he know exactly what his brother is after. His brother is after the kingdom, because the kingdom gives great honor and fame, even though he know Yah gave him this to him. Read on.
For he is my elder brother, even for him, and for Abiatar, the Kohen, and for Joab, the son of Zeruiah. Then King Solomon sware by Yahuwah, saying, Elohim, do so to me, and more also, if Adoniah have not spoken this word against his own life.
Against what?
Against his own life.
Against his own life, because he know exactly what his brother is after. Take the wife, take the kingdom. Go ahead.
Now therefore, as Yahuwah lives, which have established me and set me on the throne of David my father, and who have made me an house, and he, as he promised, Adonijah shall be put to death.
He shall be what?
Put to death.
So Solomon, which is the peaceable one, is about to put his own brother to death, because you're trying to take something from me, because you seek this position and this fame that the position holds. Verse 25.
And King Solomon sent by the hand of Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, and he fell upon him, and he died. And unto Abiathar the priest said the king, get you Anatote unto your own fields, for you are worthy of death. But I will not at this time put you to death, because you bear the ark of Yahuwah of Elohim before David my father, and because you have been afflicted in all wherein my father was afflicted.
So he killed his brother, and this priest, instead of killing him, he sent him away. But this is all about this position. So he knew exactly what he was after when he was asking for this wife. He knew exactly what he was after. Let's get 2 Samuel chapter 12, verse 8 again.
2 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 8. And I gave you my master's house, your master's house, and your master's wives unto your bosom, and gave you the house of Israel and of Judah. And if that had been too little, I would moreover have given unto you such and such things. Wherefore have you despised the commandment of Yahuwah to do evil in his sight? You have killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and have taken his wife to be your wife, and have slain him with the sword unto the children of Ammon. Now therefore the sword shall never depart from your house, because you have despised me, and have taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be your wife. Thus saith Yahuwah, behold, I will raise up evil against you out of your own house, and I will take your wives before your eyes, and give them unto your neighbor, and he shall lie with your wives in the sight of this son.
In the sight of this son. So let's see. When you take the wives, you're taking the kingdom. You're taking the honor, the praise, and everything that come along with it. 2 Samuel chapter 16, verse 20.
Second Samuel 16 and 20. Then said Absalom to Ahithophel, give counsel among you what we shall do. And Ahithophel said unto Absalom, go in unto your father's concubines, which he have left to keep the house, and all Israel shall hear that you are a board of your father. Then shall the hands of all that are with you be strong.
So Ahithophel gives this counsel. He says, go into your father's concubines, which he have left to keep the house, and all Israel shall hear him. Remember this bold sin. When these people are doing sins, they want everybody to know it, that they're doing it. This is bold sin. He's doing it in the sight of everybody. Verse 22.
Verse 22. So they spread Absalom a tent upon the top of the house, and Absalom went in unto his father's concubines in the sight of all Israel.
He did it in the sight of everybody because he wanted it to be known. So he went and slept with his father's wives. Seemed unthinkable, right? Because he wanted everybody to know what he was doing. So David sinned, saw Bathsheba off the roof. He took him on the same roof and did it in the sight of everybody because he wanted it to be known. Just like everybody do on Facebook Live, because you want your sin to be seen. You want everybody to know what you did. Called like being infamous. It's the same thing. Now, how can we take somebody sleeping with their father's wife back to the beginning? Ham. Let's see. Because everybody know the story of Ham and Noah, right? But the question is always asked, what did Ham do? That's one of the questions. What did he do? We know what he did. Slept with his father's wife. The other question is, why did he curse Canaan and not Ham? Right? And nobody ever asked, why did Ham do it in the first place? What was he trying to accomplish in the first place when he did this? That's what we need to find out. Let's go to Genesis. That's what being a great lawyer is, to ask the great questions. Genesis chapter 9. Pick it up at verse 20.
The book of Genesis, chapter 9 and verse 20.
Remember, this thing is about getting a name, being known for something. Everybody knows you. Genesis 9 and verse 20. Go ahead.
And Noah began to be an husband, and he planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon their shoulders, and went backwards, and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backward.
So, right here, verse 22, Ham, the father of Canaan, Canaan pops on the scene, saw the nakedness of his father, and he told his two brethren without. That means they didn't know about it, what he did, the sin that he just did. He told them. He was proud of what he did. We got to find out why he did it. Read on.
And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders, and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine, and knew what his younger son had done unto him.
So right here, this is the kicker. So right here in verse 24, it says, and Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him. So they use this word younger. It's 86996. It means young, small, insignificant, unimportant. Small, insignificant, young, unimportant. Right? It's not translated right here. We're going to see something. This word means something else. So let's get Genesis chapter 1. We're coming back over here. Genesis chapter 1. And we're going to pick it up at verse 14.
Genesis chapter 1 and 14. And Elohim said, let there be lights in the firmament of Shamayim to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of Shamayim to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Elohim made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also.
So right here it says, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. But his word lesser is H6996. Young, small, insignificant, unimportant. So the verse in Genesis 9 and verse 24 shouldn't be younger, but it should be his lesser son. So Ham is the least or the less son, right? So when you're the lesser in the group or something, when you in New Edition and Ralph get all the screens, and you Ricky and Bobby and Ralph, Bobby, I don't want to be the lesser no more. So what Bobby come out and do? Go solo and act the fool. Because he got to seek the fame and he got to get it more. And he got to be the biggest one. He got to go overboard with it. So Ham is Bobby Brown or somebody. I don't want to be the lesser son. So if they wanted to use this, they would have used it like this. For younger, it's in its context. Get Genesis 19 and verse 30. Genesis 19 and verse 30.
Genesis 19 and 30. And Lot went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountain, and his two daughters went with him. For he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelt in a cave, he and his two daughters. And the firstborn said unto the younger.
Unto the what?
Unto the younger.
Unto the younger. This is 8:68:10. So we can see it's the elder and the younger. So this one would fit more of age. The other one is saying that Ham was the lesser or the unimportant one of his brethren. Let's go back. Genesis 9:24.
Genesis 9 and verse 24. And Noah awoke from his wine, and he knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall be unto his brethren.
So he says, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. So why curse Canaan? If y'all will see any of these animal pictures, right? And you take the lion will come in if the male lion left his cubs, right? This new lion will come up, and the first thing he would do is he kill all of those cubs that's there, because he want his bloodline to be superior. He want his bloodline to be the only thing there. So what Ham is doing, slept with his father's wife, he about to take the kingdom from Noah. He about to be the dominant one, just like Absalom was doing with David. So he can make a name for himself. He tired of being the lesser one. So I got to go in and take the kingdom. And the first thing you do is take their wife. Just like we see all through the script. They take their wife, and then the bloodline come through them. So Noah noticed, and he makes sure, Canaan, you will never rule. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. So when David did what he did, and he had that child come into the world, that child can never sit on the throne. What happened with the child? Died. Because it can never sit on the throne because of the way that he comes into the world. Just like this. So we can see Ham was tired of being the lesser. He wanted to make a name for himself. But Noah off the rip, no, he ain't never ruling. because I'm going to curse him. So even when Yah gives you the fame or what makes you famous, it can go sideways, as we see with Solomon. So in short, there's a famous person going to come on the scene, be beautiful, and he's going to try to steal the hearts of the people, right? And in order to do it, he needed to sleep with his father's wives or his father's wife. What are we to the Most High? The wife. So this beautiful guy comes out, try to steal the hearts of the people. The Most High is the father of everything, right? That includes Satan. So Satan would come along, try to steal the hearts of the people, sleep with his own father's wife, and take the kingdom and the honor and the fame that comes along with it. So it's more, but I'm going to cut it short. With that, we say shalom. Any questions? Yeah. No questions?
I saw something on yesterday. This guy was saying it's not really important. Let me know Job is not an Israel. It's not Israel.
Yeah.
Job is not an Israelite.
I personally don't think it was even a such thing as
Well, no, it had before. He was back in Genesis.
yeah.
It wasn't no Israel yet.
Well, it had to be
Because
he's supposed to be an Edomite. Yeah, it said in the Septuagint that Job was an Edomite, and I believe where he was what land was Job from?
Oh,
yeah,
which is in Arabia.
Yeah, so
Yeah, but because he was in Genesis time.
yeah,
it wasn't Jacob, but it
it had to be.
Yeah, it was.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? All right, let's go ahead and pray.
I actually stopped.
Let's wait.
You said we ready to start. Father Yah, we come before you right now, standing in unison, Father, asking with one voice, Father, on one accord, that you will look upon us, Father. Remove anything that is unlike you, Father. Allow our petition to be heard, Father. Accept our prayer, Father. We pray and ask, Father, that you would just continue to work with us, Father. Lead us, guide us into all righteousness, Father. Give us the understanding and the wisdom, Father, to be able to recognize and discern between the fame that you have set forth and the fame that is given to someone by the world, Father. Allow us to recognize and discern, Father, when that man of perdition shall come, Father, that we will be able to recognize what is of you and what is not of you, Father. Give us the wisdom and the understanding, Father, to to guide others, Father, into righteousness, to reveal your goodness unto them, Father. Father, we pray and ask that you would just continue to lead us, be a light unto our path, order our steps, Father. Pour out into us, Father, something fresh and something new, Father, so that we are able to share your goodness and your esteem, Father, with the world, Father, that we are able to be a light, Father, that light that is able to call your people, Father, out of darkness. Father, all these things we pray and we give thanks, Father. We ask that you would just continue to help us to grow and learn and cultivate through your word, Father. And all these things we pray and we give thanks. Hashem Yahuwah Benkaya Hoshua Hamashiach Wawaka Kodesh, so be it.
So be it.
Avinu Shabbat Shemaim.
Avinu Shabbat Shemaim.
Ikadosh.
Ikadosh.
Shekah.
Shekah.
Tabo.
Tabo.
Malkut Ka.
Malkut Ka.
Yeah, I say.
Yeah, I say.
Ratzon Ka.
Ratzon Ka.
Varetz.
Varetz.
Kashir.
Kashir.
Nasha.
Nasha.
Bashemaim.
Bashemaim.
Tain Lanu.
Tain Lanu.
Hayom.
Hayom.
Likin.
Likin.
Hikanu.
Hikanu.
Usla.
Usla.
Lanu.
Lanu.
Hey.
Hey.
Ashmatenu.
Ashmatenu.
Kashir.
Kashir.
Sukin.
Sukin.
Anaknu.
Anaknu.
Lashir.
Lashir.
Ashmu.
Ashmu.
Lanu.
Lanu.
Wa'al.
Wa'al.
Tabinu.
Tabinu.
Lede.
Lede.
Masa.
Masa.
Ki.
Ki.
In. Hasulanu.
Hasalanu.
Mi.
Mi.
Hara.
Hara.
Ki.
Ki.
Laka.
Laka.
Hamam Laka.
Hamam Laka.
Wahagi Bora.
Wahagi Bora.
Wahati Pare.
Wahati Pare.
Lome.
Lome.
Ulami.
Ulami.
So be it.
So be it.
You know that prayer? You know that prayer? Hallelujah. My